Hello and welcome everybody to today's edition of Mexico News Network's Breaking News Business. I'm your host, Elliot Bullman. Remember to follow us on all our social networks and to catch us every day by logging onto our website, mexiconewsnetwork.com, for relevant stories and news. Let's start with today's show. Delta Airlines and Aeromexico have accepted the final order issued by the U.S. Department of Transportation, granting them antitrust immunity and allowing the airlines to establish a joint cooperation agreement. This historic agreement will establish the largest transborder alliance between Mexico and the United States, expand competition, and benefit customers of both airlines. Together, Delta and Aeromexico are stronger in the US-Mexico market than either airline can be on its own, said Delta CEO Ed Bastian. Bastian added that the partnership will benefit employees as well. The partnership means growth of services and jobs for both Delta and Aeromexico, he said. Once conditions requested by the Department of Transportation and the Mexican Federal Economic Competition Commission have been fulfilled, the agreement will allow Aeromexico and Delta to coordinate efforts to enhance the travel experience with expanded destinations and frequencies, improving connecting schedules and seamless operations. The agreement will also improve the experience on the ground, allowing the airlines to co-locate and invest in airport facilities by improving gates and lounges. The airlines also will increase joint sales and marketing initiatives. The airlines have been partners for 22 years. The regulatory approval represents an important milestone in the process announced last year to launch a cash tender offer for Delta's acquisition for up to 49% of Grupo Aeromexico's capital stock, further strengthening the partnership between the two airlines. In other news, Walt Disney Studios crushed box office records this year, becoming the first to break $7 billion globally. The December release of Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which raked in almost $300 million in its opening weekend, may have pushed Disney over the top. But it was a trio of billion-dollar films that set the stage for the most dominant year ever from a movie maker. Globally, Disney has the 4 top-grossing films of the year: Captain America: Civil War, Finding Dory, Zootopia, and The Jungle Book, the only one not to hit 10 figures. If Rogue One ends up defeating Universal Studios' The Secret Life of Pets, which made just over $875 million, Disney will have all 5. Furthermore, Disney's role is expected to continue into 2017, with additional Marvel superhero movies slated to go along with the next episode of the Star Wars saga and a reboot of Beauty and the Beast. Much of Disney's success was spurred by 3 major acquisitions. The media giant spent more than $15 billion to buy Marvel, Pixar, and Lucasfilm. Each produced a big hit this year. So did Walt Disney Pictures and Disney Animation Studios. In other headlines, as part of the Germany-Mexico Dual Year presentation, Ambassador Victor Aibling has spoken about the mobility lessons that Mexico can learn from Germany, a country where 13.2% of household income goes on public transport, according to figures from the Mobility and Transport Council of the European Commission. By 2050, 75% of the population will live in cities. For Aibling, who appeared in the Mexican press in December when his bicycle was stolen in the historic center of Mexico City, bicycle transportation is a solution to the saturation of cars since it is inexpensive and ecological. But he believes that's not the only solution. I think the times when the vast majority of people are traveling around by car are ending. I think there'll be more diversity in the future, he said. In Germany, 37% of the population spend at least an hour a day moving between home and work in public transportation, while in Mexico City, 53% of citizens use public transport to move to work. The ambassador explained that German car manufacturers are all working very hard on the electric car with the purpose of generating a vehicle that spends less energy. I think we can share that experience because these companies are now working and manufacturing in Mexico, he said. In Mexico, more than 2,000 German companies produce about 8% of Mexico's GDP. Mexico is a strategic partner for Germany in the cultural, political, and economic sectors. That's important, but we want to go towards more mutual knowledge. The dual year includes activities in topics related to science, culture, education, innovation, and sustainability. And finally, let's have a look at the markets. The Mexican peso increased 0.75% to 20.7 from 20.5 in the previous trading session. Historically, the Mexican peso reached an all-time high of 20.77 in November of 2016 and a record low of 0.01 in May of 1972. IPC Mexico increased 0.31% to 44,983 from 45,881 in the previous trading session. Historically, the Mexico stock market IPC index reached an all-time high of 48,694.9 in August of 2016 and a record low of 14,008.2 in August of 2005. This was all for today. Thank you for staying with us. I'm your host, Elliot Bullman. Remember, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Also, log on to MexicoNewsNetwork.com for more information on Mexico and the world. On behalf of myself and all the production team at Mexico News Network, we wish you a very Merry Christmas. Until next time.